Hey friends, Christine here, and I wanted to chat with you today about using Rabbit Trails curriculum in your co-op. So I've been a part of a co-op for a few years now, and we have used Rabbit Trails every single year, and it is like so beautifully made for a co-op setting. And so I wanted to share with you exactly what we do in our co-op. So ours is set up in about 45-minute to an hour classes. We like to have a little bit of flex time, to clean and switch classes and all of that. So typically, I would say actual class time, including the kids getting into the classroom, cleaning up afterwards, is a good 45 to 50 minutes. And what we typically do from our Rabbit Trails curriculum is we will go over the lesson, and then we will do the sum fun. And because most of our classes are pretty big, about 20 kids, so that sum fun takes a good chunk of time because it's like a full classroom size. So when you think of people saying homeschool takes so much less time than in public school, it's true, because we could get that done in a fraction of the time at home when I have one or two kids doing it versus 20 kids doing it. It takes a lot longer sometimes for some of these projects that I'm like, super easy project. It took the kids a solid 30 minutes to do it when I expected more like 15. So I just want to give you a little inside look of what it could look like. So I have pulled our new curriculum. It's not even out yet. It's coming out next month in August for history. So for this curriculum, if I were to teach history in our co-op, I would read the main book, picture book. I would go over the lesson. So I would literally just read this stuff. So when I've done language arts, I would do the same thing. I would read the main picture book. I would read the lesson. So if it's about a noun, we would talk about that. We would maybe pick out some nouns from the book. Takes just a few minutes. I am not having them write anything, especially for my elementary kiddos. It is just a brief overview. And then they all have a copy of that at home. So they can use the whole rest of the curriculum the rest of the couple weeks, because we have 16 co-ops throughout the year. We just meet a couple times a month. So you could certainly do a couple of different curriculum if you're wanting to do it in this style. I'm just showing you what works for our co-op. So we read the book, we do the lesson, and then we'll go ahead and we'll do the sum fun. So in this one, it's making a conical hat to go along with the Vietnam War. And so then we would take that time to do the conical hat, and I would let them have time to color their hat and all of that kind of stuff. And then of course they'd have to line up to get it stapled and holes punched so that they can put their string in and stuff like that. And so I always have a couple helpers in my class. It works so well. Even little projects like this where you think, oh, it's gonna take just a couple minutes, they are gonna spend so much time coloring this hat. It's so fun to see what gets them excited, because sometimes we have a really thorough project and they even have to bring pieces home. Sometimes little stuff like this that I'm super simple, no big deal, and it takes them the entire class period. We have done, oops, I grabbed the companion journal, but we've done a lot of novel studies. I do this with my middle schoolers. Same kind of idea. I'm doing Charlotte's Web this coming year with my co-op with my elementary kiddos. Instead of reading a book in class, I do not read the chapters in class. I assign them the chapters to read at home, and then we just have a discussion at the beginning of class. And my middle schoolers don't talk as much as my elementary kids. So a lot of times we're through in about 10 minutes going over that. So, my upper elementary kiddos are the most talkative, and sometimes we have to be we need to get going, because they can be talking for a half hour going over what happened in the book, especially if it's really exciting chapters. So, expect 10 to 20 minutes. Make sure you cut it off by that 20-minute mark to go over what happened in the chapters, so you still have a good 20 minutes or so to do your activity, depending on what it is. And you can, of course, adjust your time depending on how much time you have in your co-op and how much time how much work is going into this. In The Hobbit, when we made swords, they painted their swords, they put gems on their swords. And so, little stuff like that takes time because they might be sharing glue or whatever it is. So just, have an idea in your head, and you'll get a feel of it as you go on and you continue to do rabbit trails in your homeschool co-op. We've even used our geography journals. 2 years in a row, we did both our world geography and our US geography. So the kiddos would usually use maybe just the front page or the front and back page, because I believe that there's 4 pages per country, if I remember right. I didn't pull it out of my bookshelf to show you guys. But they would fill out the information as like the state flag, state flower, that kind of stuff. And then the teacher looked up like recipes and stuff to go along with those states or to go along with that country. So it was some stuff that wasn't part of the curriculum that they put into it, but it was super simple to find those ideas to go along with it. But they were able to use those worksheets and sometimes even pull out a book from the rabbit trails as well to read a book in class. And so even though they're in journal format and they're not in lesson format like the rest of our stuff, they were able to use it in their co-op. So that is how I use it in my co-op. That is how other teachers have used it inside of our co-op. Like I said, we have done history, we have done our literature volumes, we've done novel studies. I don't think we've done science, but my friend is using science at her co-op this year, and so I'm excited to see how that works for them, because again, it's a little bit different with the main books, but she's still planning on pulling out the picture books that are in the rabbit trails and library list section to use to read in class and stuff like that. And so it's just super sweet. It's super easy to implement. And then, like I said, they would have the rest of the file then to finish it at home if they chose to. So it's not something that we required them that you have to take this course and have homework and all that kind of stuff. They had the file if they wanted to use it at home, and if they decided they didn't want to, then they can use whatever they wanted at home. So the way our co-op discount works is the teacher copy, right, because it's all PDFs. The teacher copy is full price, and then we offer 70% off for all of the student copies, give or take cents. So if it's like an uneven number, we will make sure that's an even number for you, so you're not having to collect, $12.72 or something if it's one that just breaks down weird. So 70% off. We will send you one invoice for the whole thing, so you don't have to worry about it. Like coupon codes, making sure people order and stuff like that. You would collect the money from your families yourself. I would give you the download link, and then you can email that out to all of your families so they can have it at home if they want to do more. Because I do realize, like I'm saying, we are doing a lesson, we are doing a sum fun. There is more stuff in that unit that they can be utilizing. So if they're paying a little bit for it, I want to make sure that they're able to do the rest of that stuff as well. So that gives them full rights to get the full download at a discounted price, because I want to make it affordable for families. And the way our copywork works is it is for one home and it is for one family. And so you can't just buy one copy and give it to, 17 other families or do it with 17 other families, because that's the way I wrote the copyright way before I ever expected it to be used in co-ops. And so I wanted to offer that discount so that families can still afford to do it, and to be able to do it in a co-op setting, because we have just thoroughly enjoyed doing it. So you can just contact me, you can email me and say, hey, we want to use this in our co-op, and I can get you that invoice once you have the payment from all of your families and you know how many you need and all of that. And then it's a super easy way. It makes it very simple for everyone, and that's how we've always done it in our co-op too. So I hope that's helpful, and I hope that you super enjoy using rabbit trails in your co-op. I know it's been a really, really great fit for ours too. So, all right, I'll see you guys next time.